Hi, good morning. This is the post-fight TBK podcast. I'm your host, David. I'm joined once again by LL and Tunde. Ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck all that. What a fucking fight, bro. Yo. Hey, I'm sorry, Dave. I've got no decorum right now.
No. Lee, let me do what I'm doing.
All right, go on.
Yeah, so we're going to start again, all because of you, yeah?
I'm sorry, my bad. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to the post-fight epic TBK podcast. I'm your host, David. I've got with me Tunde. I've got with me El. I'm telling you right now, that was one for the history books. I'm going straight in. LL, give me what you got.
Listen, yeah. Let's just start this off by saying, full credit to Deontay Wilder. Yeah, we've been giving Deontay a hard time, yeah. And we've been, talking about his boxing fundamentals and clowning and all that stuff. Listen, the man wanted to go out on his shield, and he went out on his shield like a fucking gangster, innit? Yeah, and he tried everything, innit? Yeah, do you know what I mean? When he came out, he started jabbing to the body straight away, and I thought, oh, okay, this is something new to his game, and it threw Fury off. It actually threw him off. Like the third round, Deontay got clipped, and it was a bit of an uphill struggle for him then. I actually missed the knockdown when it happened. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, because I had to come off my phone and all types of shit right now, But, mate, listen, man, like, I've got nothing but respect for Deontay Wilder, innit? Tyson Fury, we know what Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury, I didn't think he'll be able to get dropped and get up again. I always said, if Deontay drops him, he's staying down. And when he got dropped with that first knockdown, that looked like Tyson Fury was really, really hurt. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, man, you know what? I ain't really got no kind of big breakdown box. I'm just like, what an excellent fight, excellent performance from both fighters. Yeah, regardless of whether Deontay lost or not. Yeah, you know what social media is like. Everyone's gonna be onto him and talking shit. But listen, man, he's been talking this warrior shit for the longest while. In that ring tonight, I saw a warrior who gave it his all and went out on his shield, and that's what I want to say on it.
Tunde, give me what you got, man.
Listen. All right. I've never been a Wilder fan. Like, I've respected his power and that, but, he's never really had much in the way of fundamentals, and his delusion and all that stuff has just put me off him. But this fight here, like, what he actually did in this fight, I'm literally shocked, and I'm really impressed because, as Lee said, from the first round, he was just taking it to the body, and I was like, cool. Like, he was on the front foot. He actually pushed Fury back. Like, Fury didn't know how to. He didn't expect it, right? I think he was expecting the same old Wilder, and like I think he outpunched him in the first round or so.
Definitely,
right?
Wilder definitely won that first round.
Yeah, he definitely won that first round. So he really put it out there. Then when he got clipped in the third round, and he got back up, and he was visibly dazed and stuff. But for him to knock down Fury twice, right? Yeah, like that. Because literally, I was shouting till my voice was just like hoarse. I thought I was going to lose my voice because I was like, "What is this?" Because the second knockdown, Fury looked hurt. Fury looked like he was actually going to be counted out.
He looked hurt. Yeah, he looked hurt.
He looked like he looked dazed. But the thing with Fury, and he's shown this in the first fight, is that his powers of recovery is a madness.
Man.
Right? He recovers very, very quickly. And Deontay doesn't. Deontay, and it's because of the extra weight that he's put on as well. But the thing is, we'll say, well, it's a mistake for him to put on the weight. It actually wasn't, because he got ragdolled in that first fight. In the second fight.
Second fight,
And he's had to put on that weight so that he could mitigate the weight advantage that Fury has over him. Right. Yeah. So that came across really well. And I've got to give a shout out to Malik Scott, because
good corner work.
He really put together some really good tactics and stuff.
He did.
My thing is that, like, the tactics worked pretty well in terms of sort of jabbing to the body. And as the fight went on and he was getting more and more tired, obviously you're going to revert to type, but still he's shown what a warrior he is and what heart he has, because he was on empty for like at least what 5-6 rounds.
Absolutely.
Like he was out.
Round
Can I just say as well, right? I put a bet on, yeah. So I put a bet on that Fury would drop Wilder in the 3rd round, and he would knock him out in the 7th, right? I put about, I think it was about £6 or something like that on the bet, yeah. Now was it £6 or £10 or something? If I had won, I would have won like $1,000. Yeah. So when Wilder went down in the 3rd, yeah, I was like, "Wah!" Screaming, you get me? Biting my nails, yeah, in round 7. And when it never happened, I said, fuck, man, you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, that listen, yeah, for everyone that's listening, the fight's literally just happened, and we've literally just decided to do this podcast straight away. So as you can see, we're still on quite a high, and there's still quite a come down in it. But go on, Dave. I know you're trying to get off as well. So go on, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Yeah. Well, I can't say nothing new, but I will say, for me, when you hear someone ask to do something, they always say, you know, as we all grew up in African and Caribbean households, and one of the things you always say is sometimes you have to give people what they want. In Wilder getting what he wanted, we got more than what we wanted tonight as fight fans. Yeah. More than what we wanted as fight fans, because what we've seen tonight, like we've seen there have been some truly great fights in our time, but I don't think there's been a fight that I can say was epic. Tonight, I saw an epic fight. Yeah, it wasn't technically the best fight you're going to watch. Yeah, but for excitement, for sheer edge of your seat, like like the commentators were going crazy. No one knew what was going on. Everyone was excited. For hundreds of messages are going between different groups and people and what have you. This fight right here gave us that, and that's because we got what we wanted from Wilder, who got what he wanted. And that was the guy on his shield. And you know what? All the things that has been said about the guy before, everything I've ever said about him, and all the stuff, I don't like neither of these guys as characters, but as fighters, there's no doubting that Fury's number one. As warriors, give it to them both, because we saw them both as warriors tonight.
100%.
And the thing is like, you know, just touching on that point, it wasn't like a skillful technical performance or anything like that. It was a visceral performance, like blood and guts performance. And that's what fight fans want. We want the blood and guts. We want to see the heart and determination. We want to see someone get knocked down and then come back up, because Wilder took shots that like anybody else would have been sparked.
He took some licks, man. He took some licks. Yeah.
He was like battered for rounds.
But he, like, the thing is, you know, when it's like, I think the commentator said it's like a heavyweight version of Ward and Gatti.
Yeah.
And like it's very much like that. Like, because at one point you didn't know who was gonna win.
You know what? You're right, Tunde, because it was like this. I always felt like Tyson Fury is going to win and he's going to knock out Deontay Wilder. But Deontay Wilder might knock out Fury before Fury gets to do it. It was kind of weird like that, yeah. It sounds like a really silly description, but that's the best way that I can describe it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But
no, it's quite.
I would like to say as well, though. Yeah, boxing over the last few months, just with the whole COVID thing and everything, and fights falling through. It's been a bit of a letdown. I think this fight here, for me, it kind of brought boxing back, not necessarily for the casual fans, but more for like the hardcore fans as well, who are into boxing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this was a very good crossover fight for both fighters in that year. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like they can both go on to do, to still earn like decent money in that in their careers in that year. Do you know what I mean? They just have to pick the right fights. I don't think Deontay Wilder's done. Yeah, do you know what I mean? No. He's only lost to Tyson Fury, as he showed in this fight here. Yeah, he's always dangerous. Yeah, from the first bell to the last bell, he's always dangerous. Tyson Fury, I don't want to. Okay, let's talk about Fury for a minute, because we've been talking about Deontay.
Yo, you sound like the host right now, dog.
Sorry, my bro. I just, sorry, my bro. Yeah, I just want to say this. Yeah, so I just need to touch on Fury. What I don't want to see, right, Dave? Yeah, with Fury, yeah, is for him to do what he's been doing his whole career, is his next fight be some nothing, any fight against some nobody. I want to see him do what guys like Joshua and Dillian White have been doing throughout their careers. You've just had this fight. When you're ready to fight again, go into the next fight against somebody, man. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's going to have to fight White because that's what the WBC have said. So
okay, cool. So there you go then. Dillian White, I'm happy with that fight. Alexander Usyk, I'm happy with that fight. Anthony Joshua, I'm happy with that fight. It has to be one of these guys. It has to be one of these guys that Fury fights next. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
The thing is, there's the other side to that, which is him saying, you know what, I've reached my peak. I've reached my Kilimanjaro. I've reached top of the mountain now because I've gone up against this knockout merchant who's knocked everyone out, and I've done it twice. Like, what more have I got to prove? I've beaten the undefeated the undefeated champion and knocked him out. I've also gone and beaten the guy who was holding the division ransom in his backyard. Like, and that's the other side of it.
Yeah, his legacy will be shot.
The thing is, his legacy will be shot, but then obviously we're gonna have people that are gonna talk him up because he's done it. That's what I hope. If he's not gonna take on the fights that he has to, because the thing is now, White's got to beat Wallin, and whilst we know he definitely can, we can't say for sure that he will. Yeah. If White doesn't beat Wallin, then it's gonna be him versus Wallin, and I don't see him taking that fight. I don't see him having that fight again. If I'm honest with you.
No, because he won't be motivated to.
No, he wouldn't.
And that's the thing with that's the thing with Fury. His motivation has to be up. If it's not, then he's done because he won't perform.
But touching back on your point, I really hope he does the right thing. Not just for for us as fight fans, because we want to see him getting exciting fights now, like all the time. But just for the purists, for the sake of the sport, man, because we've been getting a lot of non-starters. Do you know what I mean? And that's prior to COVID and including COVID. We've been getting a lot of non-starters, and we've had an absolute whopper of a fight here tonight. And what we need to see now is more fights that are going to probably have us on the edge of our seats and wanting more. The politics of boxing right now, for me, and obviously not just for me, but the politics of boxing has won over so many other things. We've missed out on so many good fights because of the politics of boxing, and I don't want to see the politics of boxing continue to win after a night like this.
Let's keep it real though. None of us knew that we needed this fight.
Facts.
Like when this fight was first announced, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I'm gonna put my hand up. I was very negative about it. I didn't think we needed to see a third fight because of the way how Tyson Fury dismantled Deontay in the second fight. I didn't want to see it. I was disappointed that the undisputed fight never happened. Deontay Wilder was all types of bad names, but you know what? I'm happy that we got this fight now. I'm really happy we got this fight, especially in the wake of what's happened with Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like you have to kind of take your hat off. I mean, I've always been someone who's been riding for Anthony Joshua to reach to the top of the mountain and to become undisputed. But you have to kind of, you have to be fair and be honest and say right now, Tyson Fury is the number one guy in the division. I disputed it. Yeah, I disputed it before. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? I kind of felt like Joshua had more harder fights, and I still do feel that way. But at the end of the day, it's not even about the undefeated record. It's about the performances. And Tyson Fury, if you look at his performance against Deontay Wilder in the second fight, even if you look at his performance in the first fight, it was courageous. Yeah, do you know what I mean? This fight here, it was just, they both gritted down, and he's had 3 solid performances against Deontay Wilder. So for that, I've got to say, Tyson Fury is the number one guy. I think right now, the number 2 guy has to be Alexander Usyk. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He has the titles. He's the undefeated guy. I know he's new. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean, Deontay Wilder, he's had 2 bad losses. Anthony Joshua, he's had 2 losses. It's like, do you know what I mean? Ideally, who would you rather see Fury going next against? Would you rather see him going against Joshua, or would you rather see him going against Usyk?
No, I want him to fight White. White okay. has been waiting for a title fight, with the WBC. The way that he's treated him has just been off key, right? Yeah. So he's next. Yeah. He's next. And I would love to see that fight. I want to see White get into a title fight, and I want to see what he could do against Fury. I'm actually quite intrigued. Yeah. After that, if AJ loses against Usyk, then I would like to see that unification fight between Fury and
that's fair enough. Yeah.
Wilder has shown that he's still a force with it, in the heavyweights, and that he could especially if he carries on with Malik Scott and starts to utilize, like, punching to the body and all that sort of stuff. He's shown that, like, he's very, very dangerous, even when he's, like, exhausted and he's just on fumes and stuff. Like, he can still knock you out. So, there's still some really good fights there. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that things have gone. Like, it's kind of just, mix things up a fair bit. And like you said, Lee, this wasn't a fight that initially I was excited about, but over the last few weeks, like, I've been thinking, you know what, I'm actually looking forward to this fight. And for the first time in a long time, sort of like, you just getting sort of like into the build up and stuff. And I'm like, I am looking for, and it's just, it's really good when the fight matches up to your expectations.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened over the last few days, where, like, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a good fight. And then the fight itself is just like a powder keg that just exploded.
Yeah.
Dude, that fight exceeded expectation.
Trust me.
Exceeded expectation. Do you know what I mean?
Trust me, because honestly, you need two fighters to make it like a really great spectacle. And they did that. And Wilder he more than did his part. Yeah, like, yes, he got beat up over the course of the fight, but he gave Fury some serious problems.
Yeah, he gave Fury licks as well, man. Come on, he gave Fury licks. Fury just enjoyed it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But he was fucking Fury up at one point. I was like, oh shit, fucking hell, Fury's gonna get knocked out. You know what I mean?
There was a point where Wilder was literally about to go, and then he just started throwing hands.
Yeah,
and Fury's eyes went wide. Like, what in the world have I got to do here? And for me, listen, I don't care. We could have talked to anybody, anyone, anywhere that is a boxing fan tonight, and I can guarantee, people right now, podcasts are going crazy. Conversations are going crazy right now, because this fight has just given us something that, as you said, we didn't know that we needed, but two, it's given us what we want. Yeah, it's given us what we want. It's given the casuals what they want, because casuals want to see knockouts. They don't want to see. They don't want to see specialists. They want to see knockouts. Yeah, like it's given us, like, for people who watch heavyweight fights, you don't want to see heavyweight fights going 12 rounds. Now, how much ticket cost? Because two guys at that size should be knocking each other out, or at least trying to. Do you know what I mean? Like, we watched these two man absolutely flipping knock 7 bells out of each other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I was on the phone to Tunde at one point, and I was saying, yo, the way Wilder is just standing up, taking these licks, it's dangerous, because it's brutal. Yeah, but two, it's that hopefully nothing actually happens to him. Hopefully he's got a clean bill of health after this, because he took a lot of punishment. Yeah. But strangely enough as it is, we're thankful for it, because it's given us a spectacle that we couldn't even have hoped for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when you look at the way, as we was talking about the numbers and the rankings and stuff and what have you, when you look at the way that, to be perfectly fair, to say, right, we never did a podcast on it, but Joshua got dismantled. Yeah. Wilder, did what he does and came unstuck, but he did it the way he wanted to, and we can't ask for more than that. You know what I mean? We cannot ask for more than that. And I now don't want to hear none of his diatribe, if I'm honest with you. I want to hear what he's going to say about the post fight, or in the post fight, but I don't want to hear none of his, like, character mess. I don't want to hear none of that stuff and whatnot. But as a fighter, this guy absolutely grabbed respect from millions of people tonight.
The thing is as well, it's like, I think even if he is a bit sour about the loss, he is a fighter. Let him have that moment, and then, you know what I mean, let him have his moment to reflect or whatever, and then we see how he bounces back. Hopefully, you know what I mean, he'd be all right, and man, he still have a good career ahead of him.
I don't see him being sour, because he got to do what he wanted, and that is go out on his shield. Like, literally, we said this on the podcast. We said this on Friday or Thursday. Yeah, literally, either the ref, or, well, the ref's gonna have to stop the fight, or he's gonna have to get knocked out. Yeah. And in the end,
both happened.
Exactly. He the thing is, he went out the way he wanted to, and it just, I've said this, I've repeated this how many times now. He went out the way he wanted to, and it was the best thing we could have asked for, because we got treated to something special tonight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've if you look at the great fights throughout the years and trilogies as well, Barrera Morales, Ward Gatti, these were like, you know, one or two of those fights were absolute wars. Yeah, this fight tonight was a war from the third round.
Yeah,
from the third round. Yeah,
even the jabs were stiff. Like the jabs were like horrible as well.
Come on, man. I mean, like I said, it was a brutal fight.
Yeah,
it was brutal. Like, you know, one of their women was one of their wives was going to be crying tonight. Yeah, and it was in the end both of them were crying. Yeah, and we could have done this. I mean, you know, we're going on now, but I don't care. This is the excitement of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's 6:20 in the morning, and we're here talking like it's 6:20 in the evening.
Saying, I still have to drive back home. I still have to drive back home right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to cut this one short now. Yeah, but. What we do is maybe during the week and that we'll have a reflection and that, and we'll come back 100%. And we talk with Duke. We talk with Duke and Rich and all the other guys and that. We'll have like you know what I mean. We sum up the fight and all of that, man.
Hopefully you appreciate our thoughts coming out. But it's been an epic night. We will forever remember the 9th of October, 2021 for a brilliant fight. It's your host David. Again, I'm with my guys LL and Tunde, and this has been a very excitable TBK podcast.
Bomb Squad.
This is the TBK podcast.